welcome to sim.bc. It is 3:31, sorry, 13:31, so it's half past 1 during the day. Had a short day in class today, even though it wasn't that giving, it wasn't that intuitive, and it wasn't that beneficial, but whatever. For those of you who have followed me now for a time, as I can see the viewers, I have worked through my wardrobe and I'm back at a shirt that I had in the previous video. Well, I'm not gonna guess the video count because I don't remember. Stick to what you know. It's because I am yet again abroad and I don't have my entire wardrobe with me, and even if I had, it would not have been the biggest deal. Now, talk about my day pretty fast before going into what I'm going to talk about today. I had a good 12 hours of sleep. No, that's a bit optimistic. 10, yeah, a good 10 hours of sleep. I actually went to sleep yesterday at, I went to bed yesterday at 10, I would like to say 10, like 22, 10 p.m. And it was really good. It was really great. I slept for the entire night, almost. You know, going up and to the bathroom and all of that. But generally, I actually slept really good, and the feeling in my throat kind of diminished and disappeared. Not well, it didn't disappear totally, but it diminished anyway. So I'm thinking about going out tonight, doing the networking bits, even though I did some today and I was really forward, one can say, but I'm going to discuss that in a minute. So I'm thinking about going out today anyway, even though the smart thing would be to be at home and actually sleep or actually rest in order to really get better, like 100% better. But you know, you're young and you're dumb and you only do things once, right? Now, back to the thing rather that I want to talk about today. After a long session on being on time, I went to school today, was there at 10, and the teacher was late. Yeah, that happened. It's really irritating when you actually try to manage to go there, since all of the lectures are compulsory and you have a budget time, like you have some time to play with. You say that you're there 10 minutes before it starts, and then the teacher is late, so you end up being there like 20 to 30 minutes before it starts because it didn't start on time, which was quite annoying. So already from the start of the lecture, I was kind of pissed, or no, not pissed, but irritated. And it turned out that this lecturer didn't know that much English. I mean, he knew English. He wasn't fluent by any means. He was a French guy. Not that should explain the level of English he's at, but still, it kind of irritated me further, and I didn't have as much respect for the guy as I probably should have. But you know, respect is earned, shouldn't be given. So this course, or this lecture today, was labeled team building, but it was basically just him talking for 50 minutes. Like, it was a 3-hour session. He talked for 50 minutes, and then we had to present some stuff, and it was not a team building exercise. At most, we just discussed things. We didn't even get to know each other. Some people just sat quiet in a corner, and I know, before anyone is pointing that out, that some people do that even during a regular team building exercise with physical and mental activity. But rather, this was a thing about your mental and physical wellness, which was kind of weird. I mean, it's good that it exists, and it's something that I truly back to 100%. All of the things he took up was valid, or at least a good 95%, as long as I understood them correctly, because there were some wordings and some phrases that was kind of, I wouldn't say weird, but they became funny when he used certain words in exchange for others, such as touch your goal, and somebody said like, but that's abstract, you can't actually touch your goal, right? It's a thought. And then he made some other inappropriate jokes about it, how you can touch some goals depending on what your goals are, but never mind. Not the lecturer, not the teacher, but a guy I was discussing with. So I guess it was kind of a team building because I got connected with someone. Well, never mind. I had higher expectations, I can say that. But we got given this, which is basically, what's your morning exercise? Mentally and physically, went through that. And then we went through what's your daily exercise and daily mental activity. And it's something that I actually think is really great, even though I have kind of bumped down on him already. It's something that I thought was really interesting. So this is a thing that you should keep in mind when you have your business, or when you're out there, when you pitch it. Again, it's a perfect example when you pitch a business. or anything else. You should really keep in mind, how do you like, you should be feeling well, right? You shouldn't just be running around and getting customers. You should treat yourself as well. So he talked about, when you get up in the morning, do you just go up when the alarm rings and head directly to the shower? Many people said yes, that's what we do, duh, obviously. And then he raised this really interesting perspective that maybe that's not the right way to do it. Have you ever thought about, go like, instead of just walking up, going up, have you instead thought about lying in bed for a while and think about the day, like planning it, to do, make a to-do list, and not only make a to-do list, but actually make the things you do on that that you've set out to do on the to-do list. As many people actually just use it as a reminder, which I will cover in another video coming up very soon. I hope. Um, and he talked about all of this, like you can lay in bed for a while. It's not the end of the world. You probably feel better if you do some exercises, some small ones, like try to relax your body and try to warm up for the day, do some minor exercises to get the blood flowing. You will probably have a better time. And then we sat in groups discussing this, like what do we do, how much do we know about this, what do we do in the morning, and like a good 50 to 60% did nothing, me included. I don't even have the regular ritual of going up and getting coffee, because I don't drink coffee. I drink tea at best, and not even that at times. So, but most people have this, the alarm clock rings, I get a bit angry because I hear the sound and it's, connected with going up, and I don't like it. But otherwise, I would just go into the shower. And then we had this one guy who said, like, yeah, I go up rowing with my dad, and I was like, wow, that's really cool and inspirational. But I thought, don't you get tired after that? You've just like wasted all your energy before breakfast. And he was like, no, I actually get a better experience. I feel like I have more energy left over. And I was like, okay, cool, whatever floats your boat, mate. And then there was another guy that disappeared that talked about his uncle doing the typical and traditional Chinese way, which I don't know if it's true, so don't quote me on that. But that was like going up and go for a run or a walk for 5 kilometers every morning. And for you, if you watch this in the US, that's like, 6 miles, something like that. No, it's probably less. It's like 4 miles. Yeah, whatever. You can get that in any metric system, like transfer it. Anyway, but we sat in groups and discussed this, and then one of us had to go up in front of the classroom, and we were about, I don't know, 250 to 300 people, and I was selected from my group. We were like 25 different groups. I went to the stage, and we were like 25 different people up there representing our groups. And the funny thing was that not only were I like shit scared, because I am really scared, and sorry for the cursing if shit is a curse in your world. I was really scared because I'm scared about talking to people. So I went up there and I tried to inhale and exhale and inhale and exhale, to get the level right. And the funny thing was that in Sweden, we, as I said before, we generally like personal space, and we're not that out and forward. But like there were 1 or 2 Swedes in every group, kind of, and we were like 50% Swedes up there presenting. They were like, all of my friends were standing there, and I was like, really? This is what France has to give? Like the other international students didn't go up. So we were like selected individually in our own groups because we were so outgoing, even though we thought we were not very outgoing. Well, I was kind of. I took the microphone and yelled at my group. Not yelled at, but like called out my group in the beginning, because they were really bad planning and operation, so that the teacher just said, find your groups, and no one knew how. Because there was like papers, but everybody didn't know that the papers were there, and on the papers were the division of groups, like where you were divided in, and they were at the door, and everybody was sitting in the thing. So I just walked down to the stage, asked for the microphone, even though I was kind of scared. It's the first day, the second day, the third day, it's the first week. You don't want to make a fool out of yourself. And I just spoke in the microphone and was like, group 15, can you please come to the front? And everybody kind of just came. And it was really great. And it was like kind of the first group, I think, that actually assembled. Anyway, and then we did the discussion part, and then we presented. And I had to present, or had to actually, kind of wanted to, even though I was scared. But I like the thrill, just like I'm afraid of heights and like climbing. That's a fact. I like the thrill, but still it was very scary. But I'm happy that I did it, because I think that if I had refused and been like, no, I don't want to, it would have contradict the entire purpose. Because we talked about exercises and like mentally too, and I think that was a good mental exercise for me to do, even though if it's not daily, even though this is kind of a daily exercise, talking about mentally preparing myself to talk to in front of people that might see this, that might be able to see this. But in reality, when you have the people in front of you, it's much more scary. So, but I think it was good to take the chance. So that was my day. It was pretty intense, even though I was only in school for like what 3 hours, and most of that the teacher spoke. But this is something really important. I think that you have a mental picture and do some exercise every day because you feel better, and if you feel better, you will be able to pitch better. So just say in the morning when you wake up, like I can do this, not I could, not I should, like I will, and I can. That's a really good way of starting the morning. So goodbye. See you next week. Or see you next day. Wow, it's just because it's Friday.